Hey everybody, it's Jen for Tech Talk Thursday with no one else than Neil Richmond. Yay!
Hey, g'day everybody. Happy Thursday, or whatever day you happen to be watching this.
Absolutely. We have questions and we have answers. Ain't that right, Neil?
Well, we're going to try to give answers. We might create more questions, but
You're absolutely right. We just might. Well, overall, I think the Virtual Institute went fabulous. And one of the best things that come out of it is that we have a virtual platform from now on. And I'm super
yes, you
stoked
do.
about that.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Well, yeah, and we had our Zoom issues. They do funny things on us, and they changed a few things, which made it challenging for the morning. But by the time we got to the afternoon, the sessions, everything rolled out well. So that was real good. I visited a ton of them, and everything worked the way we're expecting. So, but the reality is, we won't be doing that format a lot. We'll have some live things in there, but we'll be doing a lot of recorded things that you can go back as members and partake in. Plus, we're also working on integrating a whole new platform that won't be Zoom anyway. So Zoom will be a thing of the past before too long for within the platform, but for live things anyway. So, but for now, yeah, we made it through. We didn't crash the site and all the other crazy things that can happen. And I'd say, majority of things all just went along the way it's supposed to.
I do believe so.
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple pre-submitted questions. One was about the best browser that you should use for the platform. So
yeah, I always recommend Chrome, because Chrome seems to always be on the cutting edge for the things that need to be, integrated in lots of different web elements going forward. So we primarily use that, and we love that. I'd say Firefox would be a next best option. Microsoft's new Edge. Well, let me say this: if you're using Internet Explorer, you might not be a happy camper at times. But Internet Explorer has been phased out, and so a lot of new technology is not supporting Internet Explorer. So if just a little tip, sort of going on a side road right here, if your program is still using Internet Explorer for a lot of the things that it's doing, you really need to look at upgrading to Microsoft Edge, which is the new browser that's replacing that, because that will have a lot of the things that are needed to facilitate. But again, where possible, I think you'll always be in good shape if you're using Chrome, because it is the cutting edge browser. And with Google, primarily like 60, 70, probably as much as 80% of the marketplace is based around Google and Chrome and that sort of thing. You're best to be in that world, because you'll get the best things there. And I'm not an Apple guy, so I know Safari certainly is, comes default. I know you can download Chrome to add it on, Apple products and that sort of thing. I sometimes I hear that there are some issues if you're on Safari, but if you can do Chrome for a lot of the things that you'll need to do online, that'll be the way we recommend.
absolutely. I hear you 100%. I have had issues with some website things working on Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
And I did get the email, if you did too, that it's going away. So
Yeah.
it's time to get into the next century.
Yeah. And it's hard when you're used to one thing and you got to upgrade and all that. But, the great thing is if you've got bookmarks and all that sort of thing, they all facilitate bringing them over and just helping to get you set up. And then once you get in the groove of it, you'll be in good shape.
One of the other pre-submitted questions that we had was that they were speaking that they had some trouble on school computers, or depending on what computer they utilized, if they were trying to use it on more than one computer or trying to log in on more than one computer.
Yeah, logging into the platform on more than one computer. So here's a couple things I know about that. Number one, you can be on multiple devices and still access the platform. So you could be on a phone and on a computer and get in and go do different things through the same account. We don't limit it that way. So if there was an issue, the number one thing I know from experience of working with some programs is the filters on some campuses limit what's accessible. And it's very difficult for us to do anything to facilitate that, because that's such an individual basis depending on the campus. And so that's something to think about in the IT department, to look at making an exception for the IAACE.com domain, and giving them some reasons for that. But yeah, I do know one program that had issues with their filter blocking parts of that, and different things like that. And let's be real, because the word adult is in a lot of what we're doing, that causes filters to automatically block. And
Very true.
So that's part of the problem, I think, that's out there. But that's that's what I know on that side of things. But in general, for people, and I was manning the chat while Jenn was getting the first session going, and it was like somebody had a machine gun going at me there with chat, because a lot of some of you had problems getting in, and part of that was you hadn't registered for the platform. So if you're watching this and you weren't part of Virtual Institute, you'll have an opportunity to sign up for the platform. So that's number one. And then when we add content down the line, you'll be able to get access to that. But those who were registered for the Virtual Institute will get access to the Virtual Institute content. And what we're doing, and I'll show this here in just a minute, but we're adding in the sessions now. So they'll all be there. They can be listened to. And we'll track them on the back end if you're needing to get some hours for professional development, things like that. We'll have that all tracked.
That was one of the questions, is how do I watch a recorded session?
Yeah,
So,
I'm going to show that here in just a second.
okay.
I'll show the different pieces of, I'll do a quick, for those that weren't in the Virtual Institute, I'll just do a quick tour of what we had set up, how that worked, and then I'll go over to some of the new things we're adding for post Virtual Institute, because the good thing is this will be relevant come the fall when the conference happens. We're going to have some virtual components and some in-person components. So understanding the platform, having an account on the platform, all of that will be important ahead of time. So we didn't end up like we did this time with people not trying to log into something they didn't even have access to start with.
And just to kind of give you the path from the IAAC perspective, we have this wonderful collaboration with Neil that allowed us to offer this platform for the Virtual Institute. We couldn't have pulled it together without his help. And therefore, there is a membership to the Virtual Institute. And if you paid for your Virtual Institute, then therefore you have a membership to that whenever you log on the platform. Our next step will be inviting all members to register on the platform, but you won't have the membership to the Virtual Institute unless you paid for it. And then at that time, the Professional Development Committee will start with developing content for just our members. And maybe we'll even do an intro one of all your membership benefits, because the platform itself is the newest, latest, greatest membership benefit. And we know we have some great things in store for it.
Yeah. And I mean, we do the virtual conference with this, but in adult ed programs in Indiana and even in other states outside of Indiana, we use this same platform to help programs connect with their students more so, and enroll them and engage with them. All those different things is what we actually use it for. So there's a few different paths here. But we do offer professional development within our school ones as well. So there's so many different little pieces here that we thought today would be good just to sort of recap a little bit, show what was, and then show some of the things that are coming. And this, of course, is again another member benefit that you have is this platform to go back to at any time and retrieve some of the things that have been presented, content, different things like that, and be able to consume it, and what I believe is a user-friendly way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that is the majority of the platforms are the questions that we can just answer right out. I think the rest of
Yeah.
them will be once you give your little
Okay.
demo on the recordable. So
Yeah.
you want to take it away from there?
Yep. I will dive in on that, and we will take a look at some things here. So here's what the homepage, the landing page for the site is. And so, in fact, I'm going to even rewind the tape, if I can, just a little bit further back, because it's all well and good to answer questions now that we're done. But, we had the question frequently about logging in and all that sort of thing. So I just want to address that here right up front. So this is the homepage for the virtual platform, and those who have registered for the site, not as a member or something like that, but those who have registered for the site, you'll be able to come here, enter your email address and password, and then log in. And if you need to, there's a lost password link right here that you can click on. And then also up in the top right up here in the sign in, you can click on that to log into the platform. It'll take you to this page as well. So that's for people who've signed up for the platform. If you haven't signed up for the platform, so let's say you signed up for the Virtual Institute, but you have not to this point actually gone in and created your account because you want to come in now and look at the recordings, there's a unique link that Jen sent out that you will need to access first. And that will just have you sign up for the platform. It'll ask you for your name, a username, email, password, and phone number. And then you'll click the button to actually go in and get access to the platform. So that's how that will work. It'll be the same when the doors are open to all members. You'll have a different link, but you'll go to that and you'll sign up. For those who did sign up for the Virtual Institute, you can ignore that email when it comes out because you already have a platform account. And that's the key right there, is having that initial account. So I just want to explain that login process because that did trip a few people up on Friday, and I apologize for that. We're all learning how to make everything better, and I won't fall into this hole again of making that too confusing. But there is always going to be a place to sign up in the first place, and then a place to log in on the daily basis. So that I just wanted to make that clear. Once you did log in, you arrived here at the homepage for the Institute. We had a welcome video from Sheila, Jen. I think you said some things in there.
Sheila and Laura primarily.
Laura and Sheila primarily there. So here was the agenda, and you could click right through on the agenda to go straight to that page. And then, of course, our sponsors, which, of course, we appreciate so much, the sponsorship of everybody to commit to being a part of this and supporting it financially. That's an important part of the whole process. And their pages are up here on the site. They still are here, and you're welcome to go gather anything, links, and that. There's some really cool stuff through some of these. So definitely important. Now, as we transition, we will move these placeholders, which is the Zoom link, right? You could try to go in if you want. You can click join, but nothing's going to happen because there's nobody home. If you want to use the analogy right there, you'll get this, which was, of course, a little problem for a few people during the day, but we sort of got it rolling. We'll put the actual recording in here. So if you had signed up for the Virtual Institute, you'll be able to see the recording. If there were any other resources that were made available, we'll put those underneath. So that's for the keynote, the annual meeting, the town hall meeting. Those will be listed out through there. And I think town hall meeting is also going to be on the IAAC website, right, Jen? That's the plan for that.
Actually, it's the annual meeting.
Oh,
They'll
sorry,
be
the
on the
annual
website.
meeting,
Yeah.
you're right.
And
Yeah, annual meeting will be on there as well. For those of you who didn't make it, there was some great new info and good question and answer during the town hall meeting on HiSet coming to town. So that'll be one to certainly jump in on. Sessions, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, because we're not going to, I'll show you what it looked like for the Institute, but we'll take that link down, and that'll look a little different going forward. We had all the sessions listed out here, and you could click through that session and join the meeting right there and then. And of course, down the line, we'll have this again, but we'll take this page down as it sits. We'll do that up a little differently. And then the wrap up, was there a recording you're going to put in for the wrap up, or is we're not going to add that on here, Jen?
I do have it recorded. Yeah, we can put it up.
Yeah, we can put that on there. And then, like I said, the sponsor pages are all here. Everybody's communicated some different resources and different things like that you can put in the mix here. So, you can click on them and take a look if you want to reach one of the representatives. So Michelle, in this case, there's a say hello link here. Form pops up, boom, 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 that goes straight to them. So just wanted to communicate all those things that were part of what we made available. We had a bingo game too. I'll be taking that off because it's no longer relevant. And I think half a dozen lucky winners got Amazon cards and some discounts for signing up for Connectable, actually. So some good deals went out there. I think we gave like over $1,000 worth of stuff away. So if you didn't play the game, you missed out on some goodies there. But we'll have some more of those down the line as well, because there's some fun things we can do. And we've got some other ideas to make it fun, gamify things a little bit, and have some little sessions with that too. So up here, you'll see the My Account. And there's a couple things I wanted to highlight on this, because once you do go in and create your account, you can go in and you can add pictures. So that little picture box up in the corner will illustrate you and that sort of thing. So you can go in and you can add a picture here. You can remove an image or whatever that might look like. And then either clicking update profile, edit account, you have the ability here to make any updates to the information that you put in at the very beginning when you signed up. So there's a couple things that are available there. I'll come back to the dashboard, but we'll have a page added to the menu. It'll probably replace the sessions, or the sessions will look more like this. So every one of the sessions has been recorded, and we are adding them slowly. So I've just, I grabbed this one and added it in. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. But this is where you can access all the information for the sessions in the afternoon during the Virtual Institute. So what you'll do is you'll click on this. It'll probably say something like you've got to sign up for it. So they'll all be here, but you may not have added it to your dashboard as such. So all you'll do is just add that in, and then it will show on your dashboard like this, like I have it here. And if you did like 3, it'll be 3 of them there. If you did 5, it'll show the first 3, and then you click view all my courses, and then it will show you the rest of them from there. So you'll have all those available to you. So what do you get once that happens? Well, let's click through and we'll take a look at this first session that I pulled in. The graphic there, we've got the description of the session, so you can take a look at that and see what it's all about. A little bit about the speaker or speakers for that session, so you've got background on them. And then whatever information we've added in here, so you'll be able to go through that. Now, I'm in it as an administrator, so I can sort of jump around a little bit. You may not be able to when you get in, because the whole goal here is we want you to sort of work through the materials that are presented. So for this, in order to complete the lesson down here, you're going to need to watch the whole thing. So we are tracking on the back end for professional development, the activity that people do. And again, I can jump around but you may not be when you go in there. So you'll be able to push play. You'll be able to watch through the video there. I can jump through, but it should be locked up. If you happen to need to, you can use closed captions. And the cool way that that rolls out is, and just for future reference here, we can close caption in a ton of languages. And when you click auto translate, you know, we can make the translation at the bottom of the site here in Burmese. And then that will roll out in there as well. So not necessarily important for you, but for some other things I'm going to talk about with students and that becomes important down the line. So that is an important piece of the puzzle that you've got available to you there. You can go through those. Once you get done with this, you can click Mark Complete. It'll probably auto-complete as well. At the very end of the video, it will do something like this. See if I can make it happen. When I'm on screen share, everything seems to go slow. So it's getting itself organized here. But it will auto onto the next lesson. And then that'll mark it complete. It'll cross it off and it will show your progress up here as having completed that particular piece of the puzzle. Okay, so Sheila's finishing up a couple things here. You can still see the Burmese is being translated underneath. And then away they go as we get to the end of this here. It's got a few more seconds. I've added resources as well, and some of them will have resources, some will not. So I just made an assumption here that there will be slides available. So if that was the case, this will become available to you. You can go in there and you can download the slides. If they had a PDF, we'll embed the PDF in there, but you can also do a download of it. So you've got these resources available to you that you can make use of. So there you go. See, it's finishing. And now it's going to, it should mark that complete. Again, when I'm an administrator, not all the rules apply to me because I try to override them so I can actually get things done here and move forward. But I'm just going to say I'm done. We mark that complete. And there you go. That's that lesson is done. You've watched the video now, and it automatically goes to the next one. And I just put something generic in here because I don't have it, but let's just say you went in here, you downloaded the slides, you could mark that complete as well. And now this whole course is completed. And on the back end, we've noted that, right? But also, if you now go to your dashboard, you should see that you have some notifications in there. And this, by the way, is what you'll see in there. The membership for the Virtual Institute is assigned in there. You should have a few notifications saying that you've completed a course. Yes, see? Completed a section, lesson, course, all that good stuff right there. On the back end here, we are actually tracking that, and we can see that you're 100% done on that. We can download that, and that's all taken care of. So that's sort of how this will all roll out inside the platform going forward. There'll be new things added. They'll be added to that courses menu item, which I don't have live yet. We're still creating that, so I haven't added it yet. But we'll have a courses area there. There'll be new stuff. Some of you will get added. That will be added to your account automatically, depending on the scenario. For others, you'll be able to go look at it and pick them. But I just want to emphasize, if you weren't a part of the Virtual Institute, you won't get access to those recordings. So we just want to make sure you knew that. And if you did want to get access, I'm sure Jen could probably hook you up with it. With the fee that was paid for the Virtual Institute, you get access to everything still. So it'd be like you were there. So anyway, that's how we've got this all set up and rolling. And then I thought I'd just take one step further because some people have asked about this. So is this how Connectable looks everywhere? And the answer is no, it doesn't. We customize Connectable to every program so it's unique to them. It looks like them. It has their branding, has all the elements that are needed like that. So I just want to share with you Wayne Township's one of their courses. So we primarily, as a starting point, we use this for programs to help them enroll students. That's what it's all about. And we've had great success in helping programs to continue to bring students into their program with hardly any hiccup. They're well qualified. All the things that are needed are gathered, and everybody's moving in the right direction. So for a HSE student for Wayne Township, what we ask them to do is to go through these steps in order to make a testing appointment and then begin to start in with the program. Until they've completed all these steps, all we do is mark it to them to come back and complete. They're not in the program yet. So we have an overview video that we go through with them, and then we ask a couple questions to get to know a little bit more about some of their specifics. We have them upload a photo ID. So that's another step of the process. We have some questions if there are some barriers that they are facing. And the cool thing is students come in, they complete this more than they would have ever owned up to face-to-face. This instantly goes to the counseling or life coach team, and they can start helping students immediately. If they have a transportation issue, and maybe they could help them with some gas cards or provide them with some bus passes or things like that. This is all being gathered as a student comes in. And the cool thing is this could happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. Student finds the program and engages and jumps in. Then we have our intake form, the registration form. We lock it up pretty good because they have to complete everything. They have to make sure that all the sections are completed. If they're under 18, there are requirements that have to be completed for them. And so down in the section, we have that in there. This is a multi-step form. It's a big one, and you all know what your forms look like on your programs. The other cool thing is we can translate this for students who are struggling, and this is new. We can, you know, you got a French student that comes rolling up to your program. With a click, they're able to take all this information and translate it over. They're going to be writing in English, but so they understand it's translatable in their language, which is really cool. And we also create a video that explains all the weird questions that are asked, you know, like Wagner Hauser something or other. If you remember that one in there, nobody knows what that is. And when you're not next to them, it's hard to get that communicated. So we do all that up front with the video. Then we create a one-page form that the teachers get that is all the information about their student. Picture, along with their contact information, plans, family, and all that, so that they can put it in their folders and then be able to have the background on the student, which is pretty cool. We teach them through all the things that are needed to be done in Indiana Career Explorer. And then they submit their username, password, and their 3 highest careers on the assessment. And then as the last step, we have them book their test. Now, when you see this screen here, you're going to see Wayne Township is no longer taking HSE students for this year. They are maxed out. But normally what you would see here is a form with all the information needed to make test tickets, especially if they're you know, going to be online. And then they choose whether they're going to go online or in person, which location, et cetera, and then that gets submitted and comes into the program. And now they have a new student who's learned a ton about their program, has already spent a few hours completing the different things, which means we feel as though they're very well qualified to be coming in as a student. They know more about it. They've done the hard work at the first step already, and you have all this data at your fingertips. We even create a quick little cheat sheet for the program administrators on the front end here, where they can access all this data on their students very quickly and very easily right here by just clicking in and there's everything that they've submitted, and they can click on it and download it, print it, whatever the need is, and then away they can roll there like that. So anyway, that's sort of how we're using Connectable on a daily basis. Wayne Township has professional development in theirs as well. They have a lot of things for teacher onboarding and registration processes, even things like time clock procedures. How do I clock in and make sure I get paid for my time and all that? You're a new teacher coming in, it can be tough sometimes, especially if you come in during like a busy time during a semester or something like that. Well, we just assign this to them. They can then go through and get most of the information they need and then circle back around for extra stuff if they need that as well. So we have a bunch of different things like that that is in the professional development side of this. Students, they don't see this. Students, they don't see a menu like this. They see very simple. They see their dashboard and need help and a sign out. That's it. And so we can control who sees what, who gets what, and have different layers of information in there. So anyway, that's a little bit about the virtual IAACE platform, along with some of the things we do with Connectable on a daily basis. And there's a lot more we can do. I'm not going to go any longer on it, but just thought we'd share some of that with you today, because that could be helpful as you think about preparing for a new school year, and as you think about what all will be available to you and how to access it for IAACE going forward.
Sounds great. I think that the virtual, honestly, is never going away. We all may be experiencing a little virtual burnout, but it's always going to be a part of the education process from here on out.
Yeah. I love, and I've been pushing this for a while, of course. I'm the tech guy that was talking about this years ago when everybody was like, no, we don't need that, we don't want that, and that sort of thing. Then COVID hit, and all of a sudden it was like, how quickly can you make something for us? But what I love is this gives a layer effect for adult ed. There are always going to be students that were going to be very tough to reach because of their schedules or different things like that, to get them involved in the program. This opens the door for them to get plugged in at times that the class schedule may not adapt to. Students that can be reached that would never have come in. I just think there's a lot of possibilities there. The other thing I didn't mention is this is very mobile friendly. So some of you, I'm sure at the conference there may have used, consumed stuff on your phone. It totally works that way, and it's designed to do that. So you can do stuff on your phone as well as on a desktop computer, laptop, or whatever it may be, even a tablet. So that's important, but that accessibility is important to your students as well. We know programs are the clients we have that we're working with. We know that probably about 70 to 80% of the students are consuming the stuff on mobile devices, either a tablet or a phone. And the only reason that isn't higher is because some of the programs are having the students come into the school to complete some of this. So they're completing it on a desktop at school instead of on their own device necessarily. But we know it's pretty high, and so making it friendly is important.
I think that it is pretty friendly, but I understand that whenever it comes to doing it, people get a little cautious, or they're scared they're gonna break something, or they're not gonna do it right. I think that something we can certainly add in the future is little tidbits on videos or how-to videos to do different things, like adding a course or adding one of the sessions to my courses.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff that we can do along the way. And I mean, the reality is pretty much you can't break anything. I mean, you can, but we have a variety of things set up that we have in place that we can roll back to a saved point. That was very recent, very quickly. I'd say in minutes, we can have it rolled back to something that would be before you broke it. So, in a lot of ways, you can't break it. But that being said, we don't want to spend all of our time chasing down broken sites and all that too. But
that's
we've got
why
it
I
pretty well
always
set up.
check and double check whenever I'm doing something.
Yeah, it can be a fun adventure. But that's, we want to be agile and flexible, and that's an important part of it.
I'll just speak a little bit to the recording. So what has to happen is I have to download them from the Zoom account, and then I have to upload them into YouTube and then edit it, the beginning of the facilitator stuff off so that you don't have to watch all of that. And then Neil has to do his portion. So we are going as fast as we can. And I'm getting through the list, but I would expect that maybe we can probably get it done within the next week or two.
Yeah, because we've got a lot. How many sessions? I mean, all
26.
told, probably
Yes.
26.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of sessions to record, to download and put up onto YouTube. And of course, some of these were hour plus in length, so that's a long time to get it uploaded and cleaned up and that sort of thing. And then we get the link on our end. We have to reformat the session graphics because the session graphics are too small for where they're going to reside now. So we've got to update those. We took the time off because that's not relevant going forward. And so we have to get those updated, get all the text embedded and all of that, and then make that live in the platform. So it will take a little bit, but we'll have it up and ready, and then you can start playing around with checking out some of the different courses.
I think that our members will be pleasantly surprised at all the things that'll come into play on the platform in the future.
Yep. And I envisage some different fun things we can do. We can do more than just little bingo game down the road there. So be listening. There might be some week challenges in any given week that we put out there to do some things on the platform and some prizes.
I do like challenges and prizes. How about you?
Yeah.
Well, whenever it comes to questions in the chat, it looks like just a little question about how to add that session that they want to watch again. So do you want to run through that again?
Well,
really quick,
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little navigation video. We'll share that out, but I'll also put that in as a course for everybody.
There you go.
So there'll be a little navigation video that's in there to say, hey, how do we use this? Once I'm in there, I'll put it in the dashboard, and then you can quickly go through that. That could be the first course you get completed. Certified Connectable Platform user by going through that. And because I was a teacher once, and you're all teachers, and you love doing this to your students, I might just have a little quiz in there as well, see how you perform. You don't get to the rest until you pass the quiz.
I love it. I love it.
We'll see. I'll come up with some stuff, but we'll show some of the different things that can be done. And that's another fun element we have, is the ability to add different quizzes in there.
Yes, they can add quizzes within your Connectable platform, but no, there aren't going to be quizzes for any of the sessions that are uploaded.
I'm the only one that's going to have a quiz.
Just wanted to make sure that we didn't cause any panic out there, that there was going to be, quizzes.
But there might be surveys and forms to fill in.
Yes, and it basically, you have to watch it in order to get credit for it.
Yes, yeah.
So that there is no ifs, ands, buts about that. You do have to watch it in order to get credit for it.
Yeah.
And whenever it comes to your professional development points, it'll help you be the tracker that you want to be, because all that information will be in the platform for you to track which sessions that you went to.
Yeah.
And in regards to that, there was a link sent out to the professional development where you could track everything that you did for the Virtual Institute, and it will automatically send you an email with all of that information, so you can add it to your records, and a little certificate to download for yourself as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I can't think of anything else. And as I check the chat, I don't see any questions from our audience.
Okay. So we'll hang our hats up for the day then.
I think if I was wearing a hat, I would. Thank you.
Hanging it up on my little thing back there.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in for Tech Talk Thursdays. Don't miss
Thanks.
June's episode. And I don't know, we need ideas from you. So visit the brand new page, IAACE.com, tech-talk. And there's a form at the bottom of it that you can submit any questions or any ideas you have for future Tech Talk shows. I think we're a
we'd
show
love to
now.
talk about it. And that, and we probably need to think about too. I just think about this, you know, the first week in July might be holiday time, so
yes, it
we'll
will
have
be.
to think ahead on July or what will happen then. But
Yeah,
at
we will
least for
not be
June,
having one on July 1st because it is a holiday weekend,
Right.
and I know
So-
personally I'm gone, so we'll have to
Yeah,
move
yeah.
July, or maybe we'll just
move
take July off.
and all that. But I'd love to get some things you guys are thinking about, questions that you have, opinions on different things out there. That's really good for us to kick around. And of course, as always, if we've got something that we think is important to share, we'll share it.
Absolutely. So until next time, ta-ta for now.
All right. See you,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.